Hello and welcome to today's live broadcast. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 ways that you can reduce inflammation. And of course, we're always going to preface that with the philosophy of incorporating intermittent fasting into your lifestyle. So welcome if you're joining us live. I always appreciate you joining in on the conversation with us, and welcome also to those of you who join us on the rebroadcast. Just a reminder, we keep this YouTube as a conversational type of topic where I introduce the conversation and the subject matter in the beginning, and then I open up the floor to questions and comments from our community at the end. Please take a second, if you don't mind, to hit that subscribe button if you already haven't done so, and always feel free to make sure that you are jumping into the conversation. This is your time to get your questions answered while you're either here live or you're catching this on the rebroadcast. I make sure I circle back around and answer as many comments as possible. So today we are going to be talking about inflammation in particular. We know now through a lot of the science and studies that are going on around the health and wellness community that inflammation is really the root cause of all of the ailments that we start to suffer from, not only as we get older, but just in general. That inflammation seems to be that one commonality that everyone has who starts feeling like they're just not feeling as well as they once did, and we need to make sure that we are focusing on that and getting that reduced and or under control. So the first way to reduce inflammation is through the practice of intermittent fasting. We know that here in this community because those of us who are incorporating a good, long, clean fast are seeing the benefits through just that first initial release of inflammation that is going on in our body, and then noticing the reversal of some of those negative signs and signals that we are having as we are going through this aging process. 20 hours of a clean fast does provide an environment for your body to just reset itself. So if you're not doing anything to disrupt your own body's chemistry and its own ability to heal itself, then inflammation reduction just happens on its own. So the best thing you can do, or the number one way to reduce inflammation, is to 1, incorporate intermittent fasting for a good long 20 hours that is clean so that you're not disrupting your own body's chemistry. Inflammation reduction will happen on its own. The second way to reduce inflammation in your body is to feast well. And when I say well, I mean not a designated way of eating or following a diet, but well should really be defined by how in tune you are with the signs and signals that your body is sending you when you enter into a feasting type of environment. We know through fasting that if we just do nothing for a period of time, our body has the opportunity to reset itself. It's a great time to detox. It's a great time for our hormones to balance out and for our body to utilize some damage and some storage that we have built up. Then when we enter into our feasting window, our body sends us signs and signals depending on how well what it is you're deciding to feast on is working for you. So if you feel inflamed when you feast on something, that is a sign or signal that that thing is not working for you, and you have to make the decision on whether you're going to reduce or completely eliminate that food item. The same thing holds true with bloating or constipation, or maybe your skin has a reaction to something that you're feasting on. There's no way that we as women can follow diet plans or meal plans designed by someone else and follow them to the T if we are feasting well, because the well part really should be defined by the signs and signals that your body is sending to you when you start introducing nutrition into your body's chemistry. Remember, everything that we do in, on, and around our body creates some sort of chemical reaction and should be considered a feast. If you don't like the way you look and feel when you're feasting in a certain way, then you have to listen to those signs and signals and you have to change things up. The beautiful thing about intermittent fasting is it heightens our awareness when we are in that feasting window. So it should be crystal clear to you when you introduce something on the nutritional side and it is not working for you. Then you have an opportunity to make an informed choice. Again, like I said, you can make the decision to either reduce and or eliminate those foods that are causing your body to stay inflamed. The third thing that we need to really focus on, and I think this is probably more important than fasting and feasting well, and that is our mindset. If we are not working on our mindset, we are not focusing on all aspects of the inflammatory factors that are going on in our body. So many women are walking around with adrenal fatigue and anxiety issues and stress factors, and that has nothing to do or cannot be rectified with fasting long and feasting well. If nothing in the aspect of your mindset or your environment is going to change. So if you are feeling like you're suffering from some of these stress disorders, or from maybe you're feeling like the mindset that you're currently living with is the thing that's holding you in this state of sickness, we need to look at that carefully. Everything that we do in this healing phase is really based on hormonal balance as much as possible. We talked a couple of days ago about the hormones that we need to focus on and balance out to heal our bodies. They were insulin, they were leptin, and they were ghrelin. 3 of the primary hormones that we have in a really out of balance state when we're suffering from a lot of these things that we're unhappy with as we get older, primarily the fat gain and weight gain that we have that we can't rectify. Concentrating on those 3 hormones will really help us balance things out. But we also know that hormones are always kind of reacting off of one another as well. So if your cortisol, your adrenaline, and your norepinephrine are also out of balance, you will struggle with all of the other hormones that you're trying to get in balance to reach the end result that you're hoping for with intermittent fasting. We have to look at the environment that we're living in and the state that our mind is in when we are trying to change things in our overall health and wellness. Adrenaline is that fight or flight hormone that if it is out of balance, you're going to constantly be in that reactionary mode, and you're going to panic, and you're going to be in that desperation type of feeling. And that is not a place of health and wellness, and you will not be able to heal your body on any other aspect if you're constantly in that state of emergency. The other mindset hormone that we really need to focus on is our norepinephrine. I call this that responsive type of hormone. We have these sensory firing off capabilities that we become super aware of the environment that we're in. If we are constantly surrounding ourselves with negativity and self-doubt, or what I call the stress, shame, and anxiety game, we will constantly be living in that mindset, and that hormone will be out of balance. So if you find that you're suffering with hormonal imbalance, think about the environment that you're living in. Think about the environmental state of your mind. What thought processes are you going through when you're thinking about this journey that you're on? And if you're constantly in a negative place, you will keep your body in an inflamed environment and you will stay out of balance. And then that last hormone that seems to be affecting so many of us women is cortisol. That hormone, or that what I call the mindset hormone, is really affecting how our immune system is responding. We need to make sure that our mindset is equally as healthy as the body health that we are striving for. You cannot have a sick mind and want to have a healthy body. They need to be in balance as well. I always recommend that women work on their mindset before they even consider changing anything else in their lifestyle, because your mindset will be the thing that's going to determine your success and or failure rate with everything else that you're trying to do in your life. So if you feel like you're suffering from some inflammation type of issues with your body, I highly, highly, highly recommend taking a look at your environment. Take a look at some of your social triggers. Take a look at some of the ways that you speak internally to and about yourself, and see if you can start working on that as you start changing some of the other external factors as well. Intermittent fasting is an amazing way to live your life, but if you're stressed out in a fasted state, you will not put yourself into a healing state. Feasting is the same way. You can only feast as well as your mind will let you feast, because you are going to have to go through a decision-making process when you are feasting. And if your mindset is not based on the positive aspect of what you want to do when nourishing your bodies, then you will reach for the negative things in your life to fuel you, and you will find yourself in a state of frustration, which then prolongs this state of inflammation that we all find ourselves in when we're completely out of balance. Hormonal balance is super complicated when we start thinking about all the hormones that are affected or affecting us when we are not at our best. And it is not the obvious hormones, and it's not the obvious things that we need to do to fix that situation. We need to go to some of the underlying hormones and some of the things that may not seem so obvious to us, because we have to go deep into what it is we're trying to heal. If all you're after is an aesthetic change, meaning you want to lose X amount of pounds or you want to wear X size of jeans, then that's going to be a very short-lived experience for you, because as soon as something triggers your mindset into something that's going to steer you away from what you know is best for you, you will be steered away. So work on your mindset. Start that as the place that you start working on reducing some of that inflammation in your body, and then the rest will naturally fall into place. I really focus on mindset first and foremost in the course that I teach, the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman, because I want you to be successful and end this struggle that we as women have with not loving our bodies first, right? We often want to look for the external wins in what we're trying to do with changing our lifestyle and trying to achieve a goal, and we don't focus enough on the internal changes that we need to make to create a lifestyle that will stand the test of time. I see this a lot here as a social media person and trying to have these conversations and spread the good word about how great it is to live a healthy and balanced lifestyle. And so many women who are claiming to live such a healthy lifestyle can spew some really negative and hateful things in this environment of social media. And I always like to challenge or question, how healthy do you think you are if everything that's coming out of your mouth or coming off of your keyboard is a negative thing? We as women need to really focus on how we respond, how we react, how we think, and how we speak. Those are going to be the key factors on how well we will ultimately heal our body, because our mind will be the thing that leads our body every time. And if we can't lead with our mind, trust me, your body will not follow very long. We know that in the endurance environment, or even if you're a marathon runner, or you have ever had to do anything that you relied on your mind to get you through, then you know that this is true. And if you're that person that constantly feels like you're failing at things, trust me, it's your mindset and not your body. Your mind will lead your body where it needs to go. Your body can only go so far without your mind. So don't stay in that frustrated place. Don't stay in that sick place. And don't stay in that place where your body is so inflamed that all your hormones are firing off out of control. Reduce the inflammation by balancing out your hormones, and trust me, everything else will fall into place. We're going to start working on this again in November, on November 2nd, when we launch our next course for the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman. You guys who are in my Midlife Mindset course, you know we are focusing on the mindset during our course as well, so that we can finally feel successful with this lifestyle that we're trying to create for ourselves and end this cycle of dieting. There's no worse way than to go through these last 50 years of our life, which seems like a long time, but will go this fast for us, feeling sick and frustrated and disappointed in how it is we are deciding to live our life every day. So if you're not happy with the decisions that you're making, you have the power to change those, and it all starts with everything that's going on up here. So fast long, feast well, and make sure that you have a healthy mindset wrapped around the lifestyle that you are trying to create for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and answer questions and comments here on Facebook first, and then I will jump on over to YouTube to answer some questions and comments. Rita, so good to have you with us. You are in my mindset course. Love that you are feeling feeling well with everything that you're doing. Breaking my fast with easy egg cups, yummy, yay. Those are awesome for sure. Feeling awesome, loving the course. Good job. Jennifer from South Carolina, thanks for jumping on. Gretchen, so smart, thanks for sharing your expertise. May grad, love IF. Awesome, Gretchen, so glad you're able to join us. And then Tamara is here, January 2018 grad, still learning a lot from you every week. I love it. And then Rita, amen. Yeah, for sure, girlfriend. It's so funny how so many people don't connect the unhealthy mindset to their unhealthy body. And I think once we make that, we have that aha moment, we really can realize how easy it is to live a healthy lifestyle. We just follow our mind, right? But if we're in constant combat with what it is that we're thinking, and then our body can't follow, then we're frustrated and we're discouraged. And that's when a lot of people throw in the towel, because guess what? Life's going to happen. And when life happens and you can't handle it mentally and emotionally, then physically you're going to go off the deep end because your body isn't going to know how to break that down and process it. So mindset is key for sure. Kathleen from Detroit, good to have you with us. Aaliyah, so happy I finally caught you live. My mom, 70-year-old, raves about you. Oh, I love it. I love that your mom got you on with us live. Monica from Connecticut. Tamara, hello, and thank you for all you do. You're welcome, girlfriend. Thanks for hanging out with us. Jackie from the UK. It's so good to have you with us. Shulamut, graduate of the August and your wonderful midlife mindset shift course. So happy to have you with this, girlfriend. Carol from Boston, I have followed you for a while now and have lost over 30 pounds. But all of a sudden, for the past 2 weeks, I gained almost 5 pounds. What is going on? I can't figure it out. Yeah, remember, your body as a woman is constantly changing. That's why I recommend not stepping on a scale. If you can honestly say to yourself that you're doing everything that you know you need to do in your fasting window and you're eating all the correct things in your feasting window, then just know your body's going through a shift and it will shift back. So a 5-pound weight gain could just be something going on with your body hormonally where it is holding on to some water. Don't panic, stay the course, let your body go through its system, and before you know it, it will be gone. Oftentimes, when we are scale watchers, we go through that fight or flight type of thing, and we start to panic and we change everything. Well, if it worked, something worked for you before, and you haven't made any changes, then it's still working for you. Your body is just transitioning. So let it transition and then stay the course for sure. Jackie, May grad. Teresa from Texas, reduced inflammation, got rid of the joint pain I had for years. Love IF, September 2018 grad. Yeah, a lot of the pains and aches that we have are really the cause of inflammation. I know as a runner, I was suffering from a lot of inflammatory type of problems. And as soon as my inflammation was corrected with intermittent fasting and paying attention to the signs and signals that were going on when I was entering a feasting state, I'm running pain-free today at 53 years old. The other thing that was a huge aha for me as a runner and an aging woman and a mother of 2 children was stress incontinence due to the 2 very large natural deliveries I had with my babies was also eliminated with reducing the inflammation or the water weight in my body. So when your body's holding on to extra fluid and you have problems with stress incontinence as a woman who's had children before, then that also gets reduced and or rectified. So I was able to dodge a surgery based on the fact that I was able to reduce my inflammation and also fix some of those things that were troubling me with running that I wasn't happy with. So inflammation is a trigger for a lot of things, and I don't think we associate them. So get rid of the inflammation and then see what kind of magic can happen for you as well. Carrie, trying to figure out what feasting window works best for me. Do you think that feasting early in the day for several days and then later in the day for the rest makes a big difference? No, I don't. I think you have to feast in what I always say with feasting and fasting is this: you have to create windows around your lifestyle and not change your lifestyle to fast and feast. That's how you create a lifestyle that lasts. When you change your lifestyle for a way of eating, that's called a diet. So we don't diet anymore. We have a lifestyle that we live. And so let life naturally happen and then fast and feast around that. there's theories out there and there's experts that say, you should rotate things around and you should do this on Monday and Wednesday and do this on Friday and Saturday, and that's going to make everything perfect for you. That is not true. You just need to do what works for you. For me, fasting in the evening works because my husband does his thing during the day. My daughter does her thing during the day. So no one's around for me to worry about feasting with. When my daughter comes home, we open our feasting window and we feast with her because it's important for us to have a family dinner. That was one of the biggest wins and aha moments that I had with incorporating intermittent fasting, because as a dieter, by the time dinner rolled around with my family, I had already consumed my 1,200 calories for the day and I wasn't allowed to eat anymore. So I never had a pleasant dinner experience with my family. Fasting has allowed me to rejoin my family for a family dinner because I can feast during the time my family feasts. So it all depends on how your life plays out, and then you find the window that makes you the happiest so that you can sustain the lifestyle. And then just know that once you're balanced out and once you're on that path to healing, you can add in some flexibility and some varying fasting times and feasting times that will again maintain the lifestyle that you want to live. Marilyn from Arkansas, May graduate and loving fasting. Awesome girlfriend. Kathleen, so did I. Don't panic. It's a process. So I think she's talking about the weight gain thing. It will balance itself out. Holly, September 2019 grad and in mid-life mindset shift class now. So excited to hear this info again. Yes, it's a process of balancing out all hormones in your body that will create the loss of inflammation that you have going on in your body. Kathleen, I know I'm still in the healing process, but I've just re-entered that energized sense of calm after a time in some struggle, and wow, it feels great learning so much in the mindset class. Yeah, sometimes we have to just be reminded, right, of what is important to us, because there are so many social and emotional pulls that are pulling us back into what is considered normal. But we have created a new normal for us. So you have to go back and visit the basics. You have to go back and reconstruct your why. You have to go back and figure out what your perfect day looks like. And once you bring those all back to the forefront of your mind and back to the surface of your lifestyle, it's so easy to jump back in. I feel very blessed and fortunate that this is what I do for a profession, and this is the model that I live by to help other women live by as well. So I get to live this every day because it's what my job is. So I very rarely steer away from what works best for me. But I also understand that there are a lot of women who don't have this kind of support or don't have this opportunity to live this out as fluidly as they would like to because of some of the outside pressures. So that's why we're here for you in this community. That's why we have all these videos on YouTube for you to, and Facebook for you to jump in on, to come back and regroup whenever it is you need it. And that's why we have several classes for you to join as well. So Kathleen, I'm super happy that you're feeling it again. And then Susie, June 2019, I love the ease of IF. I eat keto-ish. I'm trying to just eat clean. I want to be healthy first. The weight loss is just happening slowly, but it's fine because it took me a long time to be heavy. Yeah, for sure, Susie. And that's what I always say too, is like, feel good first. And then when you feel good, that also changes your mindset, right? So when you wake up ready to attack your day, you will attack your day. You'll be more energetic, you'll move your body more, you'll make smarter choices about the things that you're going to allow in and not allow in. When you wake up your day feeling beat up or drugged out or not optimistic, it's super easy to fall into that negativity trap and make bad choices for yourself and live more sedentary because you just don't have the energy. So feel good first and then start making some other changes that will take you along the way for sure. So Susie, I'm glad you're feeling that. Rosalind, hello. Susie, had my blood work done. Everything is normal, which I'm thrilled with, except my cholesterol a little high, but I am not exercising yet, so I'm going to start something, retake again in 6 months. Yeah, for sure. Everyone goes through this adjustment too, Susie, keep in mind. So if all your other blood work is great and your cholesterol is just a little high, it will balance itself out as well. I went through that phase also. Everything's fine now. So just let your body adjust. It can only heal so much at a time. And so maybe the cholesterol is the last thing it's going to heal. And then once you start exercising, I'm sure that will help as well. So I think you're on the right track. Just keep doing what you're doing. Christy, September 2019 grad, IF for life. Doing the course will change your life. Just jump in. Thank you, Christy, for saying that. So many women are on the watch and see bus that are putting themselves through this prolonged misery of not healing. So take Christy's advice, jump into our course on November 2nd. It is 3 weeks that, by the comments you see here in the comment sections, will change your life if you open up your mind to considering some new things. It's fascinating what happens when you make a commitment to do something good for yourself. And the best commitment you can make is just join a group of women who are doing the same thing that you're doing. And you're going to find that you're not alone in the struggle in the beginning, and you won't be alone in the success you have in the end either. So thank you for saying that. Thanks for changing my life. I feel great. I'm into a 64-hour fast. Did eat some nuts and avocado. That's fine. That's called a fat-aided fast. How much and when do you recommend to eat, and when is coconut oil also an option? So when you're breaking a fast after that many hours, you want to ease into breaking your fast. And you want to, what I have found for me personally is having a really big, like fibrous type of meal didn't work so well. It's kind of one of those things that goes in and out real quickly. So I would just kind of maybe have an avocado, wait a couple hours, maybe have something else. And I would have really small, higher fat type of things. Maybe even have a vegetable as opposed to like a bunch of like something in a big feast, and ease your way back into it. Get your digestive tract back on. Some people even say even having like a broth type of meal to break a fast, and then waiting till the morning to have or later in the day, the next day, to have a meal is also a good thing to do. So just ease into it would be the best advice. And congratulations on such a long fast. I'm super proud of you. And then I'm in the mindset course now. Just jump in. Diane is there to support and challenge you. Thank you, Janet, for saying that as well. So she's a graduate of our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course and is now in our advanced midlife mindset shift course. She says jump in, so take her advice. Just jump on in for sure. We love on you and take care of you for sure in the course. Marie, April 2019, thanks for everything. You're welcome. Donna, 2019 grad, thanks for jumping on, girlfriend. Latanya, hello. Powell, is that your last name? Latanya Powell is my mother's maiden name. Christy, hello. And then Louisa, this is how I feast. I fast around my life. Yeah, for sure. That's the only way to create a lifestyle, for sure. I've only gained 1.5 pounds on my time away from home. Good for you, girlfriend. I think you're on vacation, I think, right now. And it's been great so far, also on thyroid subs. Awesome. Well, if you're on thyroid supplementation, the goal would be to try to hopefully get off of that and see if your thyroid can self-regulate. Also, cut back on meat products. In the August 2019 grad, Louisa. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, you know, there's some debunked, again, surprisingly, the food industry duped us with how much animal protein we're supposed to have, or how much protein we're supposed to have in general to maintain lean muscle or muscle on our body. So remember, protein is that thing that we can overconsume, especially as women, and will keep us out of a healing state. So keep an eye on that in your feasting state as well. We do not need to consume protein the way we thought we did. And if your body doesn't feel like it's doing well on it, it's okay to take a break from it a little while and test it out. I always say if you're going to test a new food philosophy or a new genre of food, give it a good 30 days for your body to kind of become accustomed to it before you make a decision on whether something is working for you or not. Sometimes there is a detox phase you have to go through, or an adjustment period you have to go through and let your body balance out again before you can determine if something's working or not. So 30 days is good for a good overhaul change. If you're trying to determine if a food is something that's causing you inflammation, I always suggest a 7-day test on that. Put it in for 7 days, see how you feel, take it out for 7 days, see how you feel, and then decide which one was better for you. That's the best way to figure out if a food is an intolerance for you. The 7-day food test is what I like to call it. And then 30 days if you're trying to eliminate a grouping of food to see how that affects you as well. So I hope that helps you if you're suffering from inflammation or some sort of chronic inflammatory type of disease, knowing that fasting long, 20 hours of clean fasting, feasting well being defined by listening to the signs and signals your body's sending you when you enter into a chemical reaction to something that you're feasting on. And then the third way to reduce inflammation is to create a mindset that is healthy and does not send a bunch of your mindset hormones out of whack, which will then keep your body out of hormonal balance as well. Always feel free to leave comments if you're catching this on the rebroadcast. I will jump back around and answer those as I can in the next 24 to 48 hours. And if you haven't done so yet and you've been following us along along on these broadcasts, please consider jumping into our November 2nd course. It is life-changing for you to be in a room with women who are like-minded, going through a lot of the same things that you're going through, and healing their bodies alongside of you and supporting you along the way. It will be the best experience that you can give to yourself and the best investment you can make in your health and well-being. I will see you guys back here on Wednesday, which is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we'll talk about another interesting conversation about intermittent fasting and how it can help us as aging women today.